Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. What's up, guys? I'm just joking. It's my Dana impersonation.
Yeah, you're good.
But another episode here with Film You In. Just got done watching The Smashing Machine with my guy, but I'm gonna do it right and introduce him. His name is Jonathan Flores. Floor is yours, man. What did you think about the film?
Man, I thought it was actually a really good film.
Yeah.
I think The Rock played actually a great character, a drama character at that, and how they also kind of really showed how Pride was back in the day.
Right.
Everything that goes within having just the crazy fighters, them using all the drugs, so to say,
Yeah.
and competing at a high level just for money
Yeah.
and all that. And I just really think that the camera angles, the old stuff, and all that stuff was really great in the
Right.
movie. To be honest, it was just to really see what was happening back in that day, like 1997,
Yeah.
and like the house he had was just like a square house, but it was still like a great place to be
Right.
in, and man, other than that, they really showed also that MMA aspect where good punches, good takedowns.
Right.
They had actual UFC MMA fighters in there,
Right.
right? Just to act and to portray the sport of it.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, it was I'd say a 9. I mean I keep going back for 8, 5, 9.
Yeah.
Because some of Dwayne's scenes were a little like we said, like he was just The Rock sometimes. Like I could just see The Rock, but then other than that, like he was Mark Kerr, like the athlete. No, I mean that was a great movie, man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna see if that score changes after I give you a couple of my things on
Give me your
the
spiel.
movie.
Give me your
The
spiel.
first thing that you mentioned was it felt nostalgic from 97 to 2000s.
Yep.
And being a 90s baby, when I was seeing the color grading, I was like, wow, like this is what I had in mind of like my memory of what the 90s were, which was pretty dope. So the color grading there, obviously the clothing, I thought they did a good job in touching on those things. The movie overall was pretty decent. I can see why a small niche of people would be like, I love this movie. It's phenomenal.
I get
And
that.
then a couple other people would be like, why did I go see this? I heard different things about it. So like, I felt there were inconsistencies, and the best way we were talking about those inconsistencies was, to me, in the makeup with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. At some points, he looked like Kerr, and then at other times, he literally looked like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Especially when he shaved his head, right?
Especially when he shaved his head. So it was weird for me because I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is getting good, and then I would see The Rock's mannerisms come out. And then
I would hear his voice sometimes, right?
In the beginning, I was like, "Oh, this doesn't sound like
right.
him."
This is Kerr, right?
I was like, "Okay, we about to get straight up in here." But then, like 2-3 scenes later, it sounded just like
exactly. I could see the same.
It sounded just like. Another thing that I really liked, and I've never seen before, is usually with training montages in the music choice, it's always something that will like. It's like always like amped up. It's always something that's like crazy. Like it's like Eminem, you have like Rocky, you have like those songs, right?
Yeah.
They did like, My Way.
Frank Sinatra, you're right. Yeah.
And to me, that was like one of the dopest. Like,
I actually like that whole scene. That was
so dope.
That was one of my favorite scenes, I think.
That probably was my favorite scene of the whole movie. And if there were awards to give out for like top scene, I would say that
training montage scene.
That training montage was like something different. Like you're thinking, okay, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
a hard rock spot.
There was a couple like lifting things, but the way they did it was like out of grace.
MMA,
out of grace, and also like, I don't know, just the isolation of him doing it alone, but battling like all these different things around him.
Exactly.
But then also doing the song "My Way." I thought it was like a nice icing on the cake right there.
Yeah.
Then some of the other parts that kind of fell flat to me was like, I get the relationship between him and his girl, but like then towards the end, it kind of just it went this rocky high, and then it just fell flat for the rest of it, and you're just like, okay, well, she's not here. what's going
You
on.
are right. Her story was a little sporadic. It wasn't as consistent as from the start. Kind of, I
What
would
I
say.
read, because like I only want to read like only things that are somewhat true, or what I mean by somewhat true is just like verified sources,
Yeah, not hearsay.
publications,
Not hearsay.
not hearsay or anything like that, where they were like, well, she was an alcoholic. They really didn't like touch on it like that.
Okay.
They
Okay. Yeah.
kind of hinted where she's like, I need to take Tylenol, and then in the dialogue, he's like, well, you're popping Tylenol at 4 a.m. in the morning, hinting at that. But
Yeah.
they said like she was like a alcoholic,
Okay.
and I can see how I felt like they should have gave Emily Blunt more.
A little bit more, where
Gave
we
her
would have seen her
more,
in a bad.
give her more meat on the bone.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
I'm saying the same way. I'm saying the same way.
Yeah,
I'm like, her story was sporadic. She went out with her girlfriend,
right.
and then she's
They
mad at
didn't
him a little
really,
bit.
but I will give them credit. They really made me feel, and that's what you're supposed to do. And I am going to ask you this, but
Okay.
like, they made their relationship so uncomfortable where I'm sitting there and I'm like, I've witnessed this where like a friend of mine is dating someone and you just know it's a crash and burn
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
So just in general with acting,
Yep.
if an actor or an actress is making you feel uncomfortable while you're watching, do you think they're doing their job?
100%. I
Okay.
think if they can portray emotion
Mm-hmm.
through a screen,
Yeah.
that's a great job, man. That's a great
Yeah.
job. Like just like the training montage,
Mm-hmm.
like the producer Ben Safdie, he did all
Yeah.
that. He showed us that emotion that Kerr went through back in that day with just a training and a song. And with their fight, it was the same way.
Right.
We've seen that before, where two contrasting ideologies. One doesn't want to really kind of be kind of like mold into that one person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of that. It's kind of, oh, okay, I'm here, but we don't ever want to be
Yeah.
in that middle spot, you know. So yeah, that was you're right. I mean, she showed me a lot of emotion. So
And then the other thing that I was kind of like hesitant on because we express our love for like boxing and MMA.
Yep.
So my reference point with this was like the fighter. And it's so weird for me to understand that Dana White doesn't like the movie The Fighter, but he likes The Smashing Machine, where The Smashing Machine is more with battling internalized demons,
yeah,
fighting for not that much money, and there's drugs behind it, where The Fighter was all about family relationships.
Yeah.
So like I'm so confused that like Dana would say I don't like The Fighter, but I'm a rock with The Smashing Machine.
The fighter was it wasn't as realistic, I would say, as a Smash Machine.
That's but they had the same. If you think about it, they had the same third act.
Yeah,
the best friends, the brothers,
could fight.
Could they come on a collision course? One taking care of the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like they had the same similarities.
I just don't think Dana White liked Tom Hardy or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was just that fact because he looked good in that movie, to be honest. But personally, I like this movie better.
Yeah,
it showed the history of Pride,
Yo,
what
bro,
MMA was.
Yes, bro, that's why I thoroughly enjoyed sitting next to you in the theater. You would you would whisper over to me like, "Yo, this is a real MMA fighter.
Yeah.
This happened, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm getting extra tidbits by having you right next to me instead of me just sitting there like." This guy looks familiar. Why are these people snickering? Like you're the one telling me like, yo, this is the guy that I forget his name that
Mark Coleman saved his parents.
Yeah. And like I heard people and they're like, oh, I'm like, oh, but you put it together for me. And then I was like, okay, this makes complete sense.
Yeah, Ryan Bader played Mark Coleman. Ryan Bader was actually a former UFC fighter. He used to be a Bellator champ. So he actually and all of them you saw Usyk in there, right? Playing an MMA fider. Okay.
Yeah, and did Usyk do a convincing job?
Yeah, he actually did a spinning back kick.
Yeah.
He's a boxer. I saw a spinning back kick in there. He was actually a boxer. So yeah, he did a convincing job. He barely said nothing, but yeah.
So
as a fighter, you don't gotta say much.
So like I also I'm glad I got you on because not only did you wrestle in high school, you fought.
I've had Muay Thai matches. I've had MMA matches.
You coach.
Yep.
So was the fighting and the training like authentic? You can find that connection, or did you feel like they were grasping for stars, or were they going over the top, or were they underperforming? No,
I think they hit it right on the nail from the start, where double legging, we're throwing some crosses, the illegal knees or the some of the allowed knees in Pride,
Right.
foot stomps, kicks to the person when they're down. You saw The Rock kick the guy when he was down.
Yeah.
All that is the real stuff that happens in MMA. And the training was the same way, right? I trained people and Rock was gassed to his gills.
Yeah.
And that's what fighting is. I mean, you put your all to win this match.
Right.
And you give your all physically and mentally, what we saw with Mark Kerr. It's just like you said in The Fighter where he had to deal with his family.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into fighting that the mental toll, oh, I have to go take care of my niece or my nephew, but I have to also go train. And if I don't train, that's another 2 hours that I miss, but this other guy is training.
Right.
So that's that competitive mentality the whole time. Hey, do I want to deal with my wife who's an alcoholic, or do I leave to Japan and without her and go focus on my fight? You know what I'm saying? That's where that
I love that conflict. I'm glad you brought that up. Before we close out, we have to hit the main topic.
Okay.
And that is literally Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Is this an Oscar-worthy performance? Is this an Oscar-worthy movie?
Oscar-worthy performance? No. Oscar-worthy production? Yes.
Boom. You got it. Same thing. I wouldn't mind giving him an honorable mention, but I'm like low-key, I'm not a big fan of giving honorable mentions or participation awards.
Yeah.
He did do a great job. It's just, to me, it's like I want to see him do something like really, really different. I'm glad he tacked into the emotion of it instead of doing these like cookie cutter roles. And I know he has it in him.
He's too much in those kid-friendly, dad joking movies, and he's all playful.
I'm hoping he goes in the direction of like, okay, like I need to do these different roles. And I think this was like the play setter. I want to see him do a role where it has nothing to do with physicality and looking a certain part. I just want to see him tap into that acting part. Shoot, if he has to lose weight for the role, shoot, if he has to gain weight, and I'm not talking muscle, I'm just talking about weight, or put him in a fat suit. Like I want to see him. I want to see him.
You know who had the
do
same problem?
Different things.
Zac Efron.
Yeah.
We High School Musical, we could never see him in any other movie other than a musical.
Right.
He gained all this weight to be not in a musical. You know what I'm saying? Same way you're trying to say, get Dwayne Johnson away from the big guy and make him an actor, so to speak.
Right. So I'm going to ask you again, out of 10, what would you grade this movie, knowing that you said it was a 9 out of 10?
Man, I'll say I'm biased. I'd still give it a 9 out of 10 just because of the history of Pride and everything they really showed. Like all that happened in Pride, changing the rules, but then the Japanese are like, no, we didn't change the rules. You know, you're going to keep fighting, or this and that. Their handshakes in the back of how we're going to promise you this, but then, and then all the storyline was true.
Yeah.
Kerr losing, Coleman winning.
Yeah.
Them being pioneers of the UFC.
I am a big fan of like that, not like the happy ending where you win it all, but there is like some kind of happiness at the end.
Yes.
You know, I hate that whole like.
And he was happy for Coleman winning.
Exactly.
And Coleman a little bit at the end was a little upset that Kerr wasn't there to share with him. You know
exactly.
So they both showed that little aspect.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to give it straight up a solid B, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Easy. I think it's a movie that, for me, I watched it. I don't need to rewatch it. Personally, I don't think it's a rewatchable.
Okay.
Might be wrong 10, 20 years down the line where if The Rock is doing more movies, but that's where I'm putting it.
Yeah, I can agree to disagree.
Okay, man.
I can agree to disagree.
Right. Well, thank you for hopping on this episode of Film You In. And can't wait to see you in the gym. You're going to catch me looking like Kerr, and I'm going to be blasting My Way.
Let's go. Insane. I'm going to put it on the remix version.